Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's On at DisneyPlus.com. It's time for a quick Disney Plus news roundup. We're going to be talking about the brand new series, The Other Black Girl, plus what's coming to Disney Plus in September and a whole lot more. But before we go any further, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. So Disney has released a brand new trailer for the upcoming series, The Other Black Girl, which is going to be arriving on Disney streaming services, including Hulu in the United States and on Disney Plus around the world on September the 13th. This brand new series about Neela, who is an editorial assistant who is often marginalised as the only black girl at her company. So she's excited when Hazel is hired. However, as Hazel begins to rise, she begins to discover something sinister is going on at the company. Now, I've got to be honest, the trailer looked really creepy. Can't quite work out if it's in her head, if it's something supernatural, is there something going on weird with Hazel. It's all very pretty weird, and the trailer definitely got me in. I wasn't too sure about this just by going off a couple of images that have been put out, but the trailer did a really good job of just kind of setting up that paranoia of like, you don't really know quite what's going on. I think it's going to work pretty well. So we're going to be getting the entire series all at once, and that's definitely going to be one of the big originals that are going to be released by Disney in September. But let me know in the comments below, are you looking forward to The Other Black Girl? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments below. Let's now talk about American Horror Story, and we've got two things to talk about. So up first, let's talk about American Horror Stories, which is going to be returning for a 4-episode Huluween event on October the 26th. So we're getting these 4 episodes on Hulu. I suspect we'll also see them released on Disney Plus around the world, as previous American Horror Stories have been. Looks like they're going to have to sort of drop a few episodes for this year's Halloween season because they haven't got the whole show recorded and put together because of all the strikes. So we're probably going to see a little bit more of this. But yeah, 4 episodes. And obviously with American Horror Stories, each episode is its own individual thing. So you can kind of jump in and jump out. It doesn't really matter if you haven't watched any of it before. I kind of quite like this format. I actually prefer this show than I've seen of American Horror Story, because I can just kind of pick up one episode or two. And if I don't like it, it's not really the be all and end all. Whereas with the main show, if I don't really like the theme, it kind of gets a little bit lost. Speaking of the main show, American Horror Story, we've also got a little bit of an update on that show. That's going to be returning on FX on the 20th September, available the next day on Hulu. No word yet on it will arrive on Disney Plus around the world, because the previous seasons obviously as well now are Star originals on Disney Plus. Got 3 new posters, including Emma Roberts. You've also got Kim Kardashian in there, and also Cara Delevingne. So yeah, some really creepy looking posters, really weird, with like kind of like spiders on the bellies, really creepy. But yeah, so just in time for the holiday season, they're going to be doing the same thing with this show, where they're going to be splitting it up into parts. So we're going to be getting the first part, because I don't think they completely finished filming it, because when all the strikes and stuff started, they were able to keep going a little bit after the writer's strike started, but there was a lot of sort of setbacks and stuff with picket lines and stuff, but eventually I don't think they got it completely done. So in some ways they're kind of able to get a little bit out that they managed to film. So yes, it's definitely a good thing if you're an American Horror Story fan, and there's just lots to be looking forward to in the next couple of months. But let me know, are you excited about them in the comments below. Let's now talk about what's coming to Disney Plus in the UK in September. Now with the UK list, as it works a little bit different to the US list, we don't get the full breakdown of what's coming each week. A lot of it is a surprise on the day, going, oh, there it is. But we do get an idea of kind of the core big new originals and stuff that are coming. So this is in addition to the things that we already know that are coming globally, which include like Ahsoka, and we'll be getting obviously like The Little Mermaid on the 6th of September. We'll be getting Lang Lang Plays Disney, and we're getting like the making of Secret Invasion and making of Guardians of the Galaxy. But there's plenty of other stuff to be coming, including on the 28th of September, we'll be getting new episodes of the 4th season of The Kardashians. On the 13th of September, every week we'll be getting new episodes of Welcome to Wrexham. This is in addition to new episodes of Only Murders in the Building and Futurama. There's also a brand new film dropping onto Disney Plus called No One Will Save You. So that will be dropping on the 22nd of September. On the 13th of September, we've got 2 big shows to watch, including Animals Up and Close with Bertie Gregory. I'm really looking forward to seeing this show. Bertie's a great guy, and I really like National Geographic documentaries. We're also getting That Other Black Girl, which I was talking about earlier with the trailer. That looks pretty cool. Also coming up in September on Disney Plus in the UK, we're going to be getting Justified City Primeval on the 6th of September. Mr. Mercedes seasons 1 to 3 on September the 20th. This full season 2 drops on the 27th of September. And we're also going to be getting the I Am Groot series on the 6th of September. I think there's lots of great things to look forward to there. Loads of things that I'm going to be watching. Welcome to Wrexham, Only Murders, you've got Ahsoka, you've got The Other Black Girl. Yeah, just loads of great shows to be watching every single week. So this really does show you, I think, here in the UK and around the world, are why Disney Plus, when it's combined together, you really kind of get a lot of combination of just great shows and lots of stuff to pull you in. So yeah, so what are you looking forward to watching on Disney Plus in September in the UK? Let me know in the comments below. Moving on from there, let's now talk about what's new on Disney Plus today in the United States. So you got the entire second season of The Wonder Years. So this one, we had the finale drop on ABC last night. Now it's fully available now. I think it's great the fact that the show just finished and then they just dropped the entire season onto Disney Plus. Personally, it would have been nice if these episodes were just dropping weekly on Disney Plus. I think that's something that they kind of need to sort of shift into rather than doing this whole batch and dropping stuff off and trying to keep holding things back. But nice to see this one on there. Hopefully the show gets picked up for a second season. I'm going to, unfortunately, hasn't arrived yet in the UK. I want to watch that, definitely watch the finale because it featured them going to Disneyland. And I always love it when sitcoms go to Disneyland because you kind of look at it and go, that's wrong, they can't do that. But yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. Okay, moving on from there, let's now do a quick review. First off, Manuel Wants to Fight was a brand new film which got put onto Hulu in the US, Disney Plus around the world on Wednesday. Watched it last night. It was just over an hour long. It wasn't actually that long. And it probably was a good thing. It was kind of one of those things of like, it was a bit naff in places, but I kind of liked it. It had a little bit of a charm to it. Basically, this kid Manuel, he keeps avoiding getting to his fights. Everyone just keeps getting to fights, all his friends, and he keeps getting out of it, and they get caught, and he gets caught that he's actually not getting involved in the fights when all his friends are. His dad's a boxer, all his friends train, and so everyone just kind of fights. But he doesn't seem to think so. But he loves kung fu movies, and in his head he can fight everyone. But in real life, he's just scared stiff of getting punched. Ultimately, then kind of finds out he's going to be moving and wants to prove to his friends that he is a friend and wants to get into a fight. And that's kind of the main core story. And so he's trying to basically build up his confidence to fight. Eventually, obviously, something happens, and it's along the way we kind of see the story of him with his friends, and it was nice. It was a nice, easygoing film. It's very cheap. There's a couple of things like there's some anime and some special effects. If you like, anime and kung fu, it kind of helps on it. If you're not really into that, it probably looks a little bit daft, but it was okay. It wasn't amazing. I'd probably give it like a 3 out of 5. I'm not going to watch it again. But it was a nice, easygoing, light-hearted film. Something that you definitely wouldn't be seeing in the cinema. It's definitely like a TV movie. But yeah, if you like kung fu and you want to watch something a little bit fun, it's there. There's plenty of jokes and stuff in here. But yeah, I kind of liked it, but it wasn't amazing. But I also watched another movie this past week, which was Elemental, which has been released on digital platforms in the US to buy. Finally got around to watching it. Missed it at cinema. It was one of those things that came out a bad week when I was like really busy, and because it got pushed back a few weeks here in the UK, it kind of was like, it's already been out for a few weeks, so I left it. And I really regret it now because I watched it and I thought it was so heartwarming. It was really well done. A really kind of interesting thing is primarily a love story between two elements, Amber and Wade. One's water, one's fire, and there's kind of the sort of subtle way of dealing with racism, but also with immigration, with the parents all coming over and coming to this big city and not fitting in, and the dad not liking water, and there was a lot of stuff. There's no big there's no villain in here. There's nothing like that. They do go off on a little adventure to kind of fix a crack in the dam. But overall, I thought it was so nice. It was so... It's nothing like Inside Out. I think that was kind of what a lot of people thought is what we thought, but it wasn't. It was really heartwarming. Definitely kind of, a few times, with the tears and stuff. And Pixar's a great way of giving something with lots of layers so adults can watch it and you're going to pick up on stuff so much more than kids. Kids are just going to think it's funny, little characters running around and take it for what it is. But for adults, there's a lot of other layers in there. And I really enjoyed it. I think it's one of the best Pixar movies they've done in a few years. This one, it just seemed to hit on a different level. I just really enjoyed it, and I think that's kind of a cool thing to see with Pixar. It was something original, didn't do too well when it dropped on the box office to begin with, but managed to pull in quite a bit of money, much more than any other animated film. And I think the storyline, it was good. I don't think the trailer did a great job of kind of setting up what it was. But I thought it was really charming, really lovely, absolutely loved it. Can't recommend it enough. So if you want to watch it, it's out now on digital platforms in the US, coming out next week here in the UK, and then I suspect it'll be on Disney Plus. I'm guessing the end of September-ish. They usually kind of do like a month or so exclusive for digital, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm definitely glad I watched it. Kind of regret now not going to the cinema for it. So yeah, seen it now, so that's pretty cool. Also on the digital extras, you did get Carl's date, charming. I'll be honest, I was blubbering at the end because he feels a bit guilty with going on a date because of his if not his ex-wife but his widow wife Ellie, and yeah, it's just, you know, you're just like tearing up. I thought it was lovely, a really lovely short, kind of like the end of an era with that on there, because obviously I think that's going to be the last one we see, but. Yeah, again, just really, really nice. But let us know. If you watched any of this stuff, I'd love to hear your thoughts on all of this in the comments below. And our comment of the day, which comes from Stario, who says, I think Disney might slow down their released films next year, as the majority of 20 films lately now seem to be released in theatres rather than streaming. So I think we're definitely seeing now with 20th Century Studios and Searchlight, they seem to be pushing more films towards theatrical rather than streaming. There's still a few more coming up this year. We've got like The Quiz Lady. But I think going forward, it makes sense to put them out in cinemas. Personally, I think it makes so much more sense, especially with these lower budget films. You could put out, like, you know, these films like The Boogeyman and stuff like that. They do not need to make as much money. They do not need to be $1 billion film to make a profit. You know, these things can kind of come in at well under $100 million at the box office, and they have made money on it. And I think we're going to see more of that. I think it just makes sense on so many different levels. Putting these movies straight into streaming doesn't really make any money. It doesn't generally generate any extra subscriptions. And also, in some way, films that have been out in cinemas, they then sort of are viewed more when they drop onto streaming services. For example, like this past week, we've seen like Jagged Mind drop here in the UK. So I watched that one over the weekend. And, you know, it was a streaming movie, and you could tell that. But I do think it could have been released in a cinema, and it would have done all right. I mean, not every movie has to be $1 billion. And especially like with some of the horror films and stuff, you know, they do not need these huge budgets. So therefore they can come in much less. I think with National Geographic, and especially with Searchlight Pictures, put them out in the cinemas, pull in some money, and then they cover the costs. You know, hopefully then more importantly, they make a profit, because we still need them to make money. You know, I know a lot of people don't like the idea of like making money, but you know, these films have to make money, otherwise they don't keep doing them. So dropping them onto, like something like Flaming Hot is a prime example of a film I think they could have put in cinemas, and they could have made a bit of money on that one, and then put it onto streaming, and it would have done really well as well. But yeah, so I think we are going to see less, but also more being released cinema. And if you've got them coming out, and I think like 20th Century Studio films and Searchlight stuff, they can fit in around all of the big films, because you know, if you're putting out like Theatre Camp, or you're putting out Chevalier, you know, you can kind of put them out in a couple of different weeks between other blockbusters, and they're kind of counter programming. They're a different audience, and they don't need to pull in that same amount. Obviously, budget on marketing will severely be reduced on these. You know, you're not going to spend $150 million advertising a film that you maybe only spent $10-15 million making. It just doesn't make any sense. So just a small social media campaign is fine. I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, I've not seen like Wish advertising. Not every film can have the budget of like Avatar: The Way of Water. You know, they have to scale it back. So something like The Boogeyman, put it out there, just let it do its thing, leave it in the cinemas for a few months, put it out on digital, and then by the time it comes to Disney Plus or Hulu, it's already, you know, hopefully made a profit by then, and therefore we're going to continue to see these things arrive. And I don't know, there's also that thing as well of when you see a film drop in and you go, oh, that was out in cinemas. It instantly kind of, it's, you know, it's a bit better. I do it on other streaming platforms. You go, never heard of it, never heard of it, never heard of it, never. But, you know, if it's been out in cinemas and it's been in the box office, yeah, unfortunately, everyone as well has kind of got to change their view of what a box office success is and what it isn't. Because, you know, it's kind of like sports right now with box office numbers. They go, oh, my film did, you know, really well. And it's like, yeah, but not every film can do $1 billion. And we've definitely seen that this year. But yeah, I think more Searchlight films, you know, things like that are really good. And also, yeah, you know, when they do drop on streaming, you're much more interested in watching them. Sometimes you skip them. There's been some films I've really enjoyed that I should have probably gone to see cinema. Banshees of Inisherin, Chevalier, The Menu, all films I've really enjoyed watching on Disney Plus. And yeah, I'm really glad that they were released in cinemas and had a chance. And it's definitely kind of getting that zone now. I've gone, I need to go to the cinema more. I do feel like I went to see Haunted Mansion the other last week. We got The Haunting in Venice coming up. Actually, I think this weekend is Theatre Camp. I think that one's got... I maybe should kind of try and make the effort and go a little bit more than I do. It's so easy not to go, especially in the summer. But let me know. What do you think? Do you think it's a good idea for them to be cutting back? I'd love to hear your thoughts on all this in the comments below. Remember to go check us out over at what's on at disneyplus.com. Like, follow, and subscribe, and I shall see you guys soon. Laters.